we can really smile more, enjoy what we're doing more. So as we talk every week, we have our mindset moment, and this week's mindset moment, be it brief, is poignant. And it goes like this: the separation is in the preparation. Quoted by Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks up in Seattle, Washington. And I added this thought to that quote: desired results do not come to those who wait. And I say that I said that and do say it now because of moments in my life recently that I look back and I just shake my head at the times I've waited. I'm trying to be as humble as possible here and own my own mistakes, my own reluctance to move, for no other reason than I just felt like I needed to stop. That the emotions of the moment got overwhelmed me and I stopped preparing. But at the same time, I wanted to be a champion. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to go to the next level, level up, and do more. And I realized through that thinking and preparing for today's show and looking at the historical references that we have with the Olympic athletes that are doing such a wonderful job over in Beijing, that separation is the preparation. Separation is in the preparation. If you don't prepare, you're not going to separate yourself from those other competitors. So you can't wait. You got to get in it and make it happen. And that, in essence, is what has happened with the athletes that are over there now. They didn't wait. They were motivated. Something stirred them when they saw Wilma Rudolph and others perform in the Olympics. When they saw men or women perform at greater levels, that went from track and field and entered into winter sports and became not only proficient, but medalists. And not just a medalist, but a gold medalist. That's what's really exciting to me. So that's our show today, thematically, that Olympic medals make history. And more than just the history of the medal and earning the medal, but what the medal means to that person because of the courage and the tenacity that they had to gather up to compete through adversity and challenges that were brought upon them. In some cases, adversity and challenges that they did not have anything to do with. They didn't control them. They didn't have anything to do with the timing of when they were going to appear in their world. It's really extraordinary. We're going to talk about Ms. Flowers, Ms. Taylor, and Ms. Jackson, but not to exclude anybody that is a teammate. Challenge them on the track, on the ice, on the snow, whatever the experience and environment was. They need to look back, as I think they do, at everybody. The competitors, the teammates, the operational, everybody that was in their environment that touches them, influence their ability to be tenacious and stay on track with their efforts. I'm grateful today because of the opportunities that I have every day. And some of them I don't confront them. I don't take them as a challenge. I let them pass. I waited. He who waits is lost in many cases. But at the same time, if I did wait, I hope I did it because it was the right thing to do for me. I tell athletes and executives all the time, don't be in a hurry. Some of that's because it's my own advice I give to myself. Equally true, I say to athletes and executives that I work with all the time, I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done or tried myself, and in some cases failed, and in other cases succeeded marvelously. But it's always an interesting scenario to see their faces when I say that to them. Because one thing they say is, well, you're old. How can you be doing that now? Well, at your age, I did that. And that's why I'm telling you now. You need to sprint. You need to work out hard. Put in the pain and suffering now to receive the glory, because preparation is the separation. You got to prepare. The separation is in the preparation, as Russell Wilson has said. It's a good place to be. I am so then grateful for all of the things and the people that are in my life to create opportunities for me and the challenges that go with it. It's not easy to look at that when I was younger and say, courage? I don't need courage. I'm brash. I'm confident. I got it going on. Until you're knocked down or stopped by somebody who's better than you because they put more prep in than you did to separate them from you. Humility, integrity. Talk about those words all the time to the point of being redundant in saying them. And lately, I've been saying them far too often because the practice and the pursuit of those words and their meanings doesn't seem to be as frequent or prolific as it should be. Just a moment of digression into the world of justice, social justice, and community. In Minneapolis, another court case was settled today. A sentencing came out to the police officer that killed a young man on a traffic stop because she mistaken her service revolver for her taser unit. I personally find that hard to believe. She got 2 years of jail time, 2 years of jail time for taking action that has been defined as a mistake, an error. She didn't mean it to happen. Well, I understand that. But there's a law called manslaughter that takes care of that, and it's literally, there's legal terms to define this, but the words are the same when you say it was an accident. Manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. I didn't mean to do it, it just happened. Yeah, you didn't mean to grab, so you say, your service revolver and pull it, and thinking that it was a taser and shoot the young man, not just once, but several times. Separation is in the preparation. That will bring me back to today's message to you. We're here at KUHS.com, KUHSdenver.com. We are the stream, bringing it to you every Friday at 11 a.m. It's a wonderful time to be here with you. Thank you so much for sharing with me your time. And there you have it. There she is, a gold medalist. Elena Myers-Taylor, Olympic monobob. They created a new word, monobob silver medalist. But what's interesting is that her teammate won gold. So 2 U.S. women on the platform, gold and silver, 1-2. But what's interesting to me is that Elena's courage is something to be marveled at and exemplified and followed. If you're looking for examples of behavior, diligence, discipline in an athlete of any gender, look at Elena Myers-Taylor and the courage she has to get where she's at. She moved from being a gold medalist in the team bobsledding to the monobob. She has prepared different sports throughout her entire career. She was a field athlete, a sprinter, which is sometimes very beneficial in bobsledding, just want to say. But her courage to make those changes, deal with her life, and then is a mom as well in the midst of training for this event. And that, if that's not enough, when she gets to the village in Beijing, she's tested and is identified as having mono would be fine. It's COVID. It's a monobob, not mononucleosis. So she had that. She had to stay in quarantine. So she had some things set up while she was in quarantine to lift weights, prepare as best she could, but not on the track, wasn't able to do practice runs. And nobody outside of Chinese bobsledders were able to see the track and practice on the track, get a feel for the track. So she gets her opportunity, she gets out of quarantine, and by the way, many of these athletes, Elena's not an exception to this, many of these athletes who have families, the families go with them, even small children. Her infant son has his own passport, and he travels with them. Those kinds of circumstances, those life stories, those realities of life and the community and culture that they are set in require some tenacity, some defiance of what others think is the status quo, just to get to the end result that you deserve and that you are planning for. COVID. Could have just said, oh, I'm done. Okay, I'm sick. I'm not going to do it. But she didn't. She was tenacious. She kept up with what was necessary. And so I offered this quote to, and I've been offering this quote many times, often. It's not just because it's my quote, but because it fits with what's going on. There's far too few people who are courageous and tenacious to pursue their goals. And look, I have my moments too where things just get me, and I feel just down, and like everything's in slow motion. There's literally weights on my shoulder causing me to just not feel good about what I'm doing. So here's the quote. You cannot deliver excellence without the fear of failure. So you got to manage it and finish. Let me say it again. You cannot deliver excellence without the fear of failure. It's just part of the reality. Now, some may dilute it down a little bit and call it error. Oh, had an error, things didn't quite right, didn't steer it right, my body weight, I didn't sprint fast. You know, there's some error, some that's failure. In the big sense, it's failure. Own it, as I've been asked to do many times lately. Own it. It's tough, though. It takes courage and tenacity to manage it and then finish. And listen, Elena has more than enough examples in her sports career as an athlete to just stop. I'm done. I'm done. Which is why, in many cases, the statement of quit when you're on top, that might be the thing that Elena's going to do, being that she is a gold and silver medalist. Manage it and finish. It's a great world we live in. Let me just pause for a minute and say I'm glad you're here. We're streaming. We are this stream at KUHSdenver.com, always bringing you the best of what we can muster for you. For me, it's on Fridays, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Now, if you want to catch up, or you have somebody who said, you say to them, hey, man, Dr. Whiteman was on it. He was talking about Black History Month. He was talking about women in the sports, in Olympic sports, and how tenacious and courageous they are. And I know you had to miss it, but I listened to it. It's awesome. You got to go check it out. Well, you can do that. Give them the anchor.fm/Lowell Whiteman, and they will find my podcast site, my dashboard for my podcast. Or you can do this. Make it even simpler. Go to your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Google, iTunes, whatever platform it is, and type in 360, that's the numbers 360, and performance. And you'll find this show has been posted for your amusement, perhaps. I hope it's enlightenment and you learn something beneficial from it. But that's my little infomercial. Go to any of your podcast platforms, type in 360 performance, and you'll find our show. Big yellow gold box. It's a big gold box that says 360 performance and Coach Whiteman at the bottom. I hope you join us. I'm in 8 different countries now. 8 different countries. Social media and the magic of social media, how it can help us touch so many different lives. And Elena Myers-Taylor has done that. But we've got a few others that are colleagues of hers. And once again, I'll remind you, it's not just her. And she'd be the first to probably tell you it's a village. her husband, her infant son, her family, her teammates in other events in the bobsledding arena, whether it's monobob or two-man bobsledding or the four-man team stuff. They all help each other and support each other. So as I say that, we've got another bobsledder that's out there, and this is Vanetta Flowers. Now, Vanetta and Elena could be bookends if you put their stories next to each other about the progress they've made from track and field into winter sports. Not only are they medalists in the sports, but they are history makers because of their medals. And here's the humility through the quote Vanetta gave to the press, one of many, but this one stuck with me. My purpose was to leave my permanent footsteps in the snow for others to follow. I think that's extremely insightful, but also very humble. As the picture I have here in the studio is with one of her twins. It's the son, her son that has a twin. In the two-person bobsled, she won that gold medal, building our totals of total medals. But what's most important is the imprint that she has put on the minds and bodies of hundreds, if not thousands, of young people in the sports. And her son. It's just amazing to see this sense of community and the cultures you're creating in your families, the cultures you're creating in the communities you go back to live in. And in many cases, some of those communities are Olympic communities. Working with the IOC, well, perhaps IOC, but I'm going to speak more to the domestic U.S. Olympic Committee, and trying to better our situation. And Vanetta has done that in so many ways, and especially during Black History Month. Now, I know that Elena was a gold medalist in the past, but Vanetta Flowers also has the moniker of being, it's either, I'm hesitating here because it's either Vanetta or Elena that were the first Black woman to win a gold medal in Olympic sports in 2002, and I'm gonna think that it might have been Elena. I'm not sure. You guys look it up. Google it. There's plenty to Google about Vanetta Flowers and Elena Myers Taylor, but they are very, very similar women in the sport, in their history and where they've come from to get to this place. I think there's much more to be seen from our Olympic winter sports teams as it relates to bobsledding in particular, because these two women are creating a wonderful legacy, as are the women in this picture, which the front runner right in the middle of that picture is Elena. And then you've got Vanetta Flowers in the picture as well. These are all the women that represent our bobsledding team in the different aspects of the team, whether it's team bobsled, two-person bobsled, the skeleton, or the monobob. Boy, the skeleton, that's nasty. Have you watched any of that? That's going in head first. That's just insane. And also there's the singles, which is going in backwards, feet first, is you slide down feet first. Skeleton is head first. It's just an amazing sport, because you're talking about 75 miles per hour maximum. I mean, so we're talking between 50 and 75 miles an hour from start to finish. And the track they have, this is the first track that has a 360-degree turn in it. It's just amazing. And so the courage, I couldn't pick a better word to emphasize today, but you also have some tenacity, because if you fail, you could be slipping off your sled and going crazy down the track at your body on ice, going very fast. So there's some tenacity to get back up into it and make it happen again. But this is diversity personified in a picture. And it's not diversity about color. I hope I'm not talking to the choir. I hope I've got people that shake their heads and go, oh my God, you know, and there's things that are quoted that have been said to these women about that they shouldn't be in the sport, how dare they even try. But look at this picture. This is about diversity of humans that have different color skin, that have different approaches, that have different body types. They're not all looking, you know, cut and svelte. They're good athletes, don't get me wrong, they're all good athletes, but they're different. They have differences. But appreciation of those differences when brought together creates medals. Gold, silver, bronze, all across the board. And the knowledge that they have gained through their experiences, and then the trailblazing they're doing right now to show to other women. So when they become coaches, they can share to other USA women bobsledders about how diversity is not the issue. It is the preparation that matters. How you prepare, and preparing first with appreciation of the differences. That's amazing stuff. That's very powerful stuff. But as simple as it and easy as it is to talk about, well, at least I think it is. I'm around it all the time. I know that it's also difficult and takes courage for other people to change the paradigm, shift their mindset, and be mindful of the differences, and revel in the differences and say, oh my gosh, what do you bring to the table? What do I bring to the table? Bring it together and maybe we can make it even better. We can level up. That's powerful stuff. I'm going to pause for a moment for a brief drink. It's only water. Trust me, it is, really. It's dry here. We got a great day here in Colorado, but it's always dry here. Believe it or not, we're considered an arid climate here. Yeah, a desert-like arid climate. I love it here, though. You know, it's times like these in the late winter months and early spring that I can be up in the mountains working on snow sport issues and come back down to the Front Range and get on a golf course and hit 9 or 18 holes of golf. It's just a phenomenal place to live. I'm on vacation all the time, even right now, talking to you, because we are the stream, KUHSdenver.com. It's a great day because this story about Erin Jackson isn't about the medal, the gold medal that she won as a speed skater. Is not also about color, ethnicity, social issues. It's really about how she got there, to be positioned to go after the gold. That's what's really exciting. But Erin Jackson is an Olympic gold medalist in speed skating. She is most definitely that. But when she was faced with challenge, she truly represented. But a challenge that wasn't without some trepidation, some reluctance to be there. Not because she didn't want to be in Beijing, but because initially she hadn't earned it. She didn't qualify. She didn't qualify. That's a backstory that hasn't been brought out much, but it's because of efforts by others that she was able to get to this place. That's what's really cool. So let me just share with you about that in just a second. But before I do that, let me just ask you to consider. There's a website I want you to take a look at. It's called From Nest to Wings. From Nest to Wings. Now, in the past, we had Margaret Meeks, the executive director from Nest to Wings, on the show. But I'm on the board, by the way. This is very much my self-ingratiating moment here as an infomercial. But we had a board meeting, and I was asking about, do we understand what the kids need when it comes to preparing for college? And do we even know whether or not they want to go to college? I hope they want to raise their level of knowledge, whether that's through college, the streets, junior college, or going to work, or a combination of all of the above. Just always strive to be better. Well, I want you to go to their website, From Nest to Wings. And then I want you to go take a look at that and see what it's all about. And it's basically, they produce videos to help young people understand what it takes to go to college, like what kind of things to pack for, how to meet new people, what do you do as a senior with your counselor to talk about courses, and maybe, if you're thinking about it, maybe what careers you might want to prepare for, how are you going to pay for it, how you prepare your mom and dad, or family, I'll just say family in general, for that. All kinds of video topics to go check out so that you're really well prepared. Preparation creates the separation. So with that in mind, the next thing I'm going to ask you, after you've looked at the From Nest to Wings website, it's fromnesttowings.org, by the way, ORG, it's a not-for-profit. Take a look at the YouTube channel, again, From Nest to Wings on YouTube, and watch their videos. Now, if you've got kids that need to get prepared for college, have them watch the videos. As parents, what you can do to help From Nest to Wing is go to the YouTube website and take a look at From Nest to Wings and just turn on any of their videos and let it run. And walk away. Turn off the volume, because YouTube gives us credit for the number of hours videos are seen. Now, I would prefer that it be a student getting ready for college. But if it's mom or dad, you can help that student who's getting ready for college by helping us with YouTube. Because the more we have hours with YouTube, the more we can qualify for funding. Please do that for us. From Nest to Wing, from me to you. This is Dr. Whiteman at 360 Performance every Friday, right here. We are the stream at KUHSdenver.com. Join us. Well, we're talking about Olympic medals making history and the tenacity and courage it takes to get there when faced with many challenges. And one of those that's faced some challenges is Erin Jackson. And here's what I say to you as my audience, but also if Erin Jackson is listening, I doubt that she is, but she's over there in Beijing still, doing all that press stuff, got the endorsement thing going, right? Control what you can control in every moment so you are prepared for sudden change. Well, here's the change that Erin Jackson probably wasn't prepared for. She didn't deliver. She was in the wrong time at the bad timing all around. She didn't qualify. And her teammate Brittany, who had qualified first, she was number 1 in qualifying. She gave up her spot to Erin Jackson on the team. That's how Erin got to Beijing in the Olympics to win the gold medal. Brittany had some insights, personal insights, things that she knew about Erin, her skill set, her commitment, her tenacity, that she made the transition for Erin extremely emotional. To face that decision that Brittany made for Erin to participate was not an easy decision. Now, I don't recall what Brittany's condition is once she made that decision, whether she was an alternate or she got to go to Beijing or not. I think she did. I think there, if I remember right, I think there was. But the point is that she made the decision for Erin Jackson and was confident in her decision that Erin would not only represent the United States of America and her team, but she would bring home the gold. I'd like to get a hold of that crystal ball that Brittany has. It's pretty accurate. So that's what happened, and that's how Erin Jackson got to Beijing to participate in the 2022 Olympics. That's pretty powerful stuff. I don't know that when the quote we had for our theme today with Russell Wilson about the separation is based on your preparation. He thought about skaters, Olympic speed skaters in particular. Or did he think about the 15-year-old Russian skater, figure skater, who is prepared? She has demonstrated countless times that her body, her mind, can deliver some pretty impressive figure skating routines. I mean, the girl can do some quads that it looks effortless, which is what those who are experts, those who are committed, tend to do. They make things that are very, very difficult look extremely simple to do. But when we add the emotional disconnect and discourse that causes people to rethink who they are, and what they're all about, there is error and failure. So this week, I think it was yesterday, well, maybe it was 2 days ago in their time frame in Beijing, but the Russian skater was not able to land the quads like she did before. Her mind wasn't connected and intersecting with her body the way it had before. And I don't think that has anything to do with the alleged cardiac medications that she was given to enhance her muscle performance, circulatory system, and oxygenation of her blood. That's what those drugs did. And she had 3 of them in her that they've discovered. Some of them I think were legit, they were okay, but one for sure was not legit. The first one they discovered was not legit. My contention is when you're faced with challenge and you need to represent, sometimes your brain and body just aren't connected to deliver. With Erin Jackson, they were. With the Russian figure skater, they were not. And maybe that's a prophetic end to the story for now. Because 2 of her teammates from Russia, from the ROC, Russian Olympic Committee, they're not represented under their own flag because of what they've done in the past for doping. She had 2 teammates win gold and silver, which I guess from a nationalistic standpoint, that's pretty sweet. From an athlete's performance standpoint, it's what it should be if they were the most talented. And based on the judges' evaluation, they were. End of story, move on. But the IOC still has some challenges they have to face. And I hope they do, for the sake of a lot of athletes. And for the purity of the U.S. Figure skating team, they still have not been awarded their medals. Whether it's silver or gold or whatever they're going to do. Apparently they're going to be given torches. I don't know what that means. It's not adequate. It's not sufficient. Because the medal ceremony, that's a big deal. That's you get to showcase yourself in front of your country and the world as to what you've done. That's not fair. That is definitely going to take some courage. And the tenacity to come back would be almost, for many of us, insurmountable. But they're there and they're dealing with it as best they can. My hope is that the U.S. figure skating team gets awarded their medals so they can revel in that acknowledgement, whatever medal color it might be. Once again, everybody out there, this is 360 Performance on a Friday, every Friday live here at KUHS Denver. And then we will we will post the show on our podcast sites. Just take a look at any of your favorite podcast sites and type in 360 Performance, and you'll find our podcast. It's good stuff. So we're talking about Olympic medals creating history, and they did. Speed skating, first time, it created it, got it. Woman of color did it, and she applied a tenacity through failure initially to qualify. A teammate gave her that opportunity. Brittany, hats off to you for doing that, for Erin, and she goes forward as you knew she would, competed for the gold and won the gold. Your example could have been the courage, the extra ounce of courage you gave her to be tenacious enough and vital enough to go forward and do that. But she's not the only one that's tenacious and has courage to perform. Even those who don't win medals, that come close but not close enough to win a medal, but close enough through the effort to know that they have the courage, they have the tenacity. Now it's just a little bit more preparation to increase the separation that gives them the winning score or the medal winning score. And to do that, that tenacity is energized by positivity and the expectations that you have when you set those positive, mindful constructs, such as realizing that there's no way of getting around it, people. Change is here, and it's always here. Count on it. Every breath you take, every moment that goes by is a moment of change. The determining factor is whether or not you've prepared to take advantage of that. Seize the opportunity and recognize before you even seize it that it is an opportunity. Too often in today's world, we look at people and things and make a judgment and pass them by. And then look back on it regretfully that they were a champion and I had a chance to interact with them, support them perhaps, and I didn't. It's really interesting how the world works when we have the same amount of time. Everybody's got the same amount of time. Every day is the same amount of time for all of us. And guess what? In your space, you got one shot at today. One shot. Heck, I've already regretted some things I didn't take advantage of this morning. I regret some things I did a few days ago, and then a few things I didn't do a few days ago. You got one shot. Start off with a positive expectation. And look, as I say that, I'm saying that with the thought in my head that I don't always do really good at that. I've got to constantly strive to maintain my positivity and move towards setting expectations that helps me deliver through that energy, the confidence, the courage, the tenacity to deliver what I expect for myself. And as the flowers grow, as the spring comes up, as that flower represents, as I'm showing on the screen here, positivity through colors and shapes, use whatever it takes to give you symbols surrounding you with things and people you trust. Nature, I trust nature. They give me opportunities every day. I don't always take advantage of them. I don't always see them as opportunities. But when you do, jump on it. Surround yourself with those people and things you trust so that they're available. When you set the expectations with that positivity, share with them what you want them to do in support of you. If you're going to surround yourself with them, don't let it be just an entourage of hanger-oners that take advantage of you and what you can provide. Engage them. Make them part of the process. We are such strong elements in the universe, human beings, and we many times do not take control. We don't, or we distract ourselves. I've been, in the last few days, I've been fraught with a distraction that I need to get out of my way. And I've made some ground on that in the last few days. But I think for every one of us, it's tough to stay engaged in those activities that we truly control. And yet realize as you define the things you control, like when I go to the bathroom, I pretty much control that. I really do. Now it's getting more challenging as I grow older, but I still am in control of that. Now as we expand to more sophisticated issues of control, we have to recognize there are forces that might come to bear in an environment that will influence the full excellence of my ability to control. Unexpected things, change, remember, it's constant. Count on it. So when I focus in on the things I control, I've got to create an environment that allows me to stay diligent in that control. That's where my tenacity's got to be there. Got to be there. Oh, but as I've realized this morning, as recently as this morning, before I even got to the studio here, within all of that effort that you choose to make towards people and things that you control, that's expending energy. You're working hard. It's not easy to do that stuff. So when you are faced with situations like that, make sure that you are taking control of your schedule to create moments for you. Moments that are, it's as I say to my athletes, the mantra I say, it's all about me. Not in a selfish way, but in a self-aware way. A level of awareness that's different than just walking down the street, taking a look, making sure the stoplights are right for you to cross, all the things that keep you safe, the general kinds of things. Be aware to a higher level of involvement and engagement. The example I give to my clients is when you walk down the street and you see the trees along the boulevard, do you just see color and shape, or do you see the bark and its texture? Do you see the needles on the evergreen tree? Do you see the veins in the leaves? Do the cracks in the sidewalk? The pebbles in the cracks in the sidewalk? And what color those pebbles are? We are very powerful beings. Our vision, our ability to gather in through our five senses tremendous amounts of information is overwhelming. And in some cases, that being overwhelmed is what we have to manage on a daily basis. Stimulus. But within that, find moments for you where you can take a breath. Be calm in a moment. Even when people are pulling at you, things aren't quite aligning the way you want them to. Take a breath, back away, get perspective. See it from a different angle. And you will maintain the control that is yours. Because in those efforts, with the expectations you've set positively, and with the mindset for positivity, you are being held accountable by you. You're the most powerful force acting on you to be accountable. Look, I fall into this the sinkhole of not my job, man. not my time to take care of it. Well, but that could be an excuse because it was your time. You were supposed to be accountable. You're just altering it a little bit to fit the circumstances of the moment. You get one shot at every day. You get one shot of every moment in every day. Make it your own shot. Believe in yourself enough to push it forward. Now, I have examples of when I've been very focused, in charge, confident on things I've done countless times, over and over again, and I'm delivering what I need to deliver. But then there's days when the universe, the environment, the moment in time, all of the above are not aligned, and I'm feeling a little bit tested, pressure, reluctant, distracted to be able to deliver on what I'm accountable for. My advice to you is take a breath each morning to say to yourself, it's all about me. I got this. I will prepare every day in ways that challenge me to level up so that I can increase the separation of my ability to compare to others, so I'm delivering at the level I can deliver for me. Hold yourself accountable. When you do these things, when you focus on the start of the day in a positive way, setting expectations that are about you so that you can be you can hold yourself accountable to yourself. You are resolute. You are promoting your resolve. You're pushing it ahead of yourself so that people see it in the tumult of change in front of you, which is countless and always there. You know you've got this. And so when things come to you that you don't expect, you are able to adapt and adjust, and not at the sacrifice of yourself. It's a great day. I love being here every day. Routinely I look for quotes, and often I recall how many times a particular person I've quoted, and and today I regret that I did not have a chance to meet this individual, but it gives me more desire to know more about him. And here's the quote for today as we talk about setting expectations and being resolute in promoting that for yourself. And the quote goes like this: "There is no passion to be found playing small. In settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Live your best life up to the level that you are capable of. And to understand what you're capable of, you've got to prepare, practice, push yourself, challenge yourself in ways that you've never done before so that you know what your capabilities are." And you bring a definition to that phrase of living your best life. Too often we say things because you heard it said by others that you respect, admire, trust, but it really isn't yours because you haven't discovered why you should own it. You haven't defined it. So what is your capable of living life? It's not less than you, I hope. It's not about things. It's about desires. What do you desire for yourself? Do you desire control? Do you desire being accepted by others? Do you desire power? Do you desire honor? When you can define those kinds of things for yourself, you have a deeper, more organic understanding of who you are and how you want to live. So that causes me to re-say the Nelson Mandela quote about your life and setting expectations. Because there is no passion to be found in playing small. In settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Live the life you're capable of living. That's what is being large. That's living your best life. What you're capable of living. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. I'm paraphrasing this, but as Martin Luther King has said, if you want to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper you'll ever be. It doesn't matter what anybody else says to you, because you are applying yourself in a life you are capable of living at its best level. Don't live anything less than that. Be your capabilities. Boy, I love doing this, and I hope I've delivered some very capable attributes to you today in our broadcast, because we are the stream at KUHSdenver.com. And when you want to see more of my show, 360 Performance, just go to your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever it is, and type in 360 Performance and see if you can find us. If you do, it's going to be a big gold square that says 360 Performance and Coach Whiteman at the bottom. Take a look, because when you do that, you are trying to live your best life. You're getting involved. You're doing what is necessary for you to be part of what you have planned for you. And you're taking action on those plans with courage and tenacity. And I love being here. It's a great place to be when we stream throughout the world now, globally. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of surprised at how successful I am, but I'm just putting myself out there in places that I can control and that represent who I am in the best way possible every week. And I hope you'll look for me on Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time as we stream. We are the stream here at KUHS at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can check out the live show, and if you miss it, recommend it, or know that you can go see it on a podcast at any of your favorite platforms under 360 Performance. Also, if you have an interest in being a better person and you need some coaching, some mental performance coaching, check out my website. That's 360 Mindset, not performance, but mindset, 360mindset.com. Check it out and take a look at that. Now, next week, we're going to have some special guests on from the website I mentioned earlier, From Nest to Wing. We're going to talk about this message. College? Should I or shouldn't I? Because there's a lot of knowledge out there that I can get access to just by picking up my phone. Now, it doesn't have a diploma attached to it, but depending on what you do with that knowledge, you could prepare to be more separated from anybody else and apply that knowledge. Learn it, apply it, make it better for you. So I'm not necessarily fully subscribing to a diploma, but there's something to be gained by the discipline and the participation in the college effort, in the high school effort. A certificate, and try to move on. So we're going to have representative from Nest to Wing here to talk about college. Should I or shouldn't I? Why or why not? Because the videos they supply can be applied in any way, getting prepared for funding your own education, one class at a time perhaps, with no intention of getting a degree. So at KUHS, we're having a good time here every Friday. Stream on, as I say. And I'm Dr. Whiteman, coach to most, but you can also call me Dr. Whiteman if you have to formally address me. It's interesting. Getting it was quite a journey, but talking about it, I'm just me at 360 Performance every Friday. Have a great day, everybody. It's good to have you with me. Take care.